The Galactic Council chamber was unusually silent. The usual hum of confidence, the familiar gestures of arrogance were replaced by unease. Reports of human achievements had reached every corner of the galaxy, and this time there was no room for doubt or dismissal. The elders, wise beyond measure and calm as always, had called for a formal address. Their message was simple. It was time for the council to witness humans for themselves. And so a delegation of humans, Kale, Amara, and a few of their finest leaders, was invited not as a threat, but as representatives of a species the council could no longer ignore. Kyle stepped into the chamber, his posture calm but confident. Every eye turned toward him. He was small compared to most of the council members, his human form unassuming. Yet there was an aura of quiet strength that no alien hierarchy could overlook. The leader of the council, a towering being of crystal and light, addressed the humans first. You claim to be capable, to have achieved feats beyond what was thought possible. We have watched, and we are perplexed. Speak, human, and tell us how a species so young could rise so quickly. Kyle bowed respectfully. We do not claim superiority. We do not seek to dominate. We act because we can. We learn because it is necessary. We grow because that is what humans do. Amara stepped forward. We started small, waking from centuries of cryosleep. The galaxy thought us weak, unimportant, and fragile. Yet we have repaired stations abandoned for centuries, enhanced ships beyond their original design, and helped civilizations that others ignored. All of this is not to boast, but because humans see opportunity where others see failure. Murmurs filled the chamber. Many council members whispered to one another, uneasy and uncertain. It was clear that the humans' achievements were undeniable. One of the elders spoke, their voice echoing with authority. Council members' humans are not unstoppable because of size, strength, or power. They are unstoppable because of their adaptability, their ingenuity, and their determination. This has been true from the moment they first walked on Earth, and it remains true today. The council's leader sighed. We doubted you. We laughed. We thought you weak and unimportant, but we cannot deny what we see. You are different. Kale nodded, understanding but not gloating. Yes, we are different. Not because we are stronger or older, but because we think differently, work together, and never give up. Humans learn from every challenge and turn it into an opportunity. That is why we rise. The chamber fell silent for a moment. Then a younger member, a being of pulsating light, spoke carefully. If this is true, then your influence will only grow. And what you have achieved in such a short time is only the beginning. Kyle smiled. It is only the beginning. We have learned much, but there is still so much to explore. We seek not to conquer, but to discover, to build and to share knowledge. We hope that the galaxy will join us in this endeavor, not out of fear, but out of respect and cooperation. The council deliberated, quietly at first, then more openly. Some could not hide their admiration. Others struggled with disbelief, still clinging to old assumptions. Yet the evidence was undeniable. Humans had changed the way the galaxy viewed potential, innovation, and leadership. They had achieved more in decades than some species had in centuries. Outside the chamber, the human fleet had quietly continued its work. Ships patrolled distant systems, exploration teams mapped uncharted planets, and research stations monitored energy flows, natural phenomena, and interstellar communication channels. Every achievement was careful, precise, and thoughtful, yet collectively it demonstrated a force that no one could ignore. One council member finally stood, addressing the assembly. We have underestimated humans. We have doubted them, but it is clear that the elders spoke the truth. Humans are unstoppable, another added. Their methods are different. They do not rely solely on strength, tradition, or hierarchy. They rely on creativity, courage, and collaboration. And that is a lesson we must all learn. The elders nodded in agreement, their expressions serene. It is time to acknowledge not just their achievements, but their potential. Humans are a reminder that even the smallest species can shape the galaxy when ingenuity and determination guide them. Kyle stepped forward again. We do not seek dominance. We do not seek war. We seek understanding, progress, and cooperation. We offer knowledge, innovation, and assistance. And we hope that the galaxy will join us in exploring the stars together. The council was silent. Some members were humbled, others reflective. The laughter that had once greeted the elders' warnings was gone. In its place was recognition, respect, and cautious hope. Humans had achieved the impossible not by aggression or intimidation, but through their inherent qualities, intelligence, collaboration, and relentless perseverance. Amara spoke softly, her voice carrying through the chamber. The galaxy underestimated us because we are human. But humans adapt, humans innovate, humans rise. And when we rise, we do so not to destroy but to create, not to dominate but to inspire. The council leader nodded slowly. We have learned a lesson today. We must approach this species differently. With humility and understanding, the elders warned us, and we ignored them. We will not make that mistake again. Outside the council chamber, humans continued their work. Ships moved silently through space. Research stations hummed with energy, and messages of cooperation traveled across the stars. Civilizations that had once been hesitant to engage with humans now sought partnership, eager to learn, share, and grow. Kale observed all of it from the observation deck of the main station, stars stretching endlessly in every direction. He felt a quiet pride, not in power, not in conquest, but in the achievements of his species. Humans had risen from obscurity to influence, not by force, but by creativity, determination, and unity. Amara joined him, looking out at the galaxy. They finally understand, she said. The council, the galaxy, they see that humans are different. Kyle smiled. Yes, and the journey has only just begun. The stars are vast, and there is so much to learn, to explore, and to create. Humans are unstoppable, and now everyone else knows it too. The elders, observing from a distance, nodded. They had always known the truth, and now the galaxy was beginning to understand. Humans had shown that even the smallest species, when guided by curiosity, courage, and collaboration, could achieve greatness. The council, once dismissive and skeptical, had learned a valuable lesson. Never underestimate the unpredictable brilliance of humanity. Humans had not only survived, they had risen, grown, and inspired. And their journey into the stars had only begun. Kale turned back to his team. There is still so much to explore. Every star, every planet, every civilization has a story, and we will discover them all. We will learn, create, and inspire just as the elders said we could. Amara placed a hand on his shoulder. The galaxy is watching, and we are ready. Together, humans continued their rise, not as conquerors, but as innovators, pioneers, and uniting forces in a vast galaxy. Their presence was a reminder that intelligence, creativity, and determination could shape the future in ways no one could have imagined. And so, the prophecy of the elders was fulfilled. Humans were unstoppable. The council could no longer laugh. Instead, they watched with awe, respect, and a newfound understanding. The galaxy would never be the same. Humans had awakened, risen, and inspired, and their journey had only just begun. Earth had changed. For centuries, humans had reached for the stars, exploring distant systems, trading with alien civilizations, and surviving dangers that once seemed impossible. Yet with every encounter, humanity also learned that some beings in the galaxy did not share their ideals. Some wanted to dominate, to control, to take what humans had built. Finally, after years of debate and preparation, the leaders of Earth made a decision that would echo through history. They would close the planet off completely. Not for a day or a month, but forever, or at least until humanity was ready. A shield unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen would rise around Earth, a barrier of energy so strong that not even the Galactic Empire could break it. The day the shield activated was celebrated across the planet. Cities that had been centers of politics, trade, and travel now hummed with a different energy. People looked up at the sky, seeing the faint shimmer of the shield surrounding the planet like a crystal dome. News broadcasts streamed across every screen, announcing humanity's independence. The message was clear. Earth is ours. We decide our future. In classrooms, children learned about the shield not just as a technical achievement, but as a symbol of human resilience. Scientists explained how it worked, a combination of magnetic fields, graviton manipulation, and energy barriers that could deflect any physical or energy-based attack. Engineers spoke proudly of the millions of lines of code written to maintain the shield, of the satellites placed in perfect formation, and of the fusion reactors powering the planet's new defense systems. But the celebration was not without tension. Deep in space, scouts of the Galactic Empire observed silently. Their ships, sleek and terrifying, hovered in the darkness. The Empire's rule was vast, spanning thousands of star systems, and Earth had always been a minor annoyance. A planet that refused to bend, that built technology too clever for its own good. The Empire had tried diplomacy, intimidation, even bribes, but Earth had resisted. And now with the shield it seemed the humans had truly shut the doors. Yet no empire, no matter how powerful, liked being denied. Among the alien fleet, whispers circulated. One captain muttered, "No wall lasts forever." Another replied, "Patience. They are strong but clever. Cleverness can be broken." Even the most arrogant officers began to consider the humans carefully. They were not like the other species the Empire had conquered. These humans had something that could not be measured by technology or firepower. Spirit. On Earth, life continued. People adapted quickly to the new era of isolation. Without alien trade, humanity relied on its own resources. Farms expanded, cities became self-sufficient, and factories ran on advanced robotics and automation. It was not an easy change, but humans thrived on challenge. In every laboratory, engineers and scientists pushed boundaries, creating energy solutions, transportation systems, and communication networks unlike anything before. Among them was Dr. Elena Reyes, a lead scientist in Earth's Defense Division. She often walked the corridors of her research facility, staring at the holographic models of the shield. It was beautiful, intricate, and alive with energy. Yet Elena knew the shield was not perfect. Nothing could ever be. "We are safe," she would tell herself, "but only because we keep moving forward." Not far from her, in a city that had once been a hub for interstellar travelers, children played in parks surrounded by quiet drones monitoring the skies. Soldiers trained tirelessly, their drills precise and coordinated. Even ordinary citizens took part, contributing to Earth's defense in small but meaningful ways. Humanity had learned that survival depended on unity, intelligence, and courage. Meanwhile, the Galactic Empire continued to observe. A scout ship moved closer, testing the shield with a pulse of energy. The shield absorbed it, glowing briefly and then stabilizing. From inside the ship, alien eyes narrowed. "Interesting," one officer said. "They are not weak, but they are predictable. All species are eventually." On Earth, news of minor anomalies reached the scientists. Satellites recorded fleeting energy fluctuations, something barely noticeable, easily dismissed as natural cosmic interference. But Elena saw patterns others did not. "We are being watched," she said during a council meeting. "Not by chance. The Empire is studying us, testing us. We must be ready." Her warning stirred a mix of excitement and fear. The council, composed of leaders from every major nation, debated endlessly. Some insisted Earth was safe behind its shield. Others, including Elena, argued that the humans must not grow complacent. "Isolation is a tool," she said, "not a guarantee. We must innovate faster than they can plan." As months passed, humanity's resolve deepened. People learned to cooperate across borders, sharing knowledge and resources at a pace never seen before. Engineers collaborated on building drones capable of repairing the shield autonomously. Pilots trained in simulations that recreated potential alien attacks. Scientists experimented with weapons and defenses designed to protect life without aggression, ensuring that Earth remained a sanctuary rather than a fortress of fear. In this new era, stories of human ingenuity spread quickly. News outlets reported how farmers had developed crops that could thrive in extreme climates, how engineers built transportation systems powered entirely by renewable energy, and how ordinary citizens contributed to technological experiments in their neighborhoods. The message was simple but powerful. Humans could do anything when united. Yet far in space, the alien scouts continued their silent observation. They cataloged human behavior, noting the creativity, the unity, the unpredictable solutions that no computer could foresee. The Galactic Empire had encountered species before, but never one that adapted so quickly, that thrived under pressure, and that could turn disadvantage into strength. Elena, working late one night in her lab, observed the data streams from Earth's outer sensors. The shield was stable, but her instincts warned her of something deeper. "They will try," she whispered, "and we will have to be ready." She did not know when or how the Empire would strike, only that humanity's greatest challenge was still ahead. Despite the looming threat, life on Earth remained vibrant. Children laughed, families celebrated, and scientists like Elena pushed the boundaries of possibility. The shield had given them safety, but not arrogance. Humanity had learned that strength came not just from technology, but from resilience, creativity, and courage. And somewhere beyond the edges of the solar system, in the darkness where stars barely shone, alien eyes watched and waited. The Galactic Empire could not accept that a small blue planet dared to shut its doors, but they underestimated the spirit within. Humanity was ready not just to survive, but to prove that even against the mightiest empire, courage, unity, and ingenuity could make the impossible possible. The story of Earth's great isolation was only beginning. The doors were shut, yes, but behind them, humans were preparing for a future no one, not even the Galactic Empire, could predict. And in that preparation, in that spark of hope and determination, the galaxy was about to see a force unlike any it had ever imagined. Humanity, united, clever, and unbreakable. Life on Earth had settled into a rhythm. Humans were confident in their shield, proud of the planet's new independence. Cities hummed with energy as engineers improved technology. Children played in parks under the watchful eye of friendly drones, and soldiers trained tirelessly to prepare for any possible threat. Humanity felt strong. They had shut the doors and no one could break through. But the galaxy had a way of testing even the strongest walls. Far beyond the orbit of Jupiter, a lone scout ship glided silently through the blackness of space. Its surface shimmered with advanced camouflage, rendering it nearly invisible to sensors. The aliens inside observed Earth intently, their eyes focused, analyzing the energy shield that enveloped the planet. "The barrier is strong," one officer hissed, "but not perfect. Every shield has a flaw." The humans did not know it yet, but the first real test of their ingenuity was about to begin. On a quiet night in the Pacific Ocean, a ripple of energy surged beneath the waves. It was subtle, almost undetectable, but it was enough to alert a nearby Earth monitoring station. Screens flickered, alarms whispered warnings, and Dr. Elena Reyes, already late at work in her lab, leaned forward. "Something is moving," she murmured. The data showed a small spike in energy, unusual but brief. At first it seemed like a glitch. Satellites occasionally recorded strange cosmic events, but this was different. The patterns were deliberate, intelligent, calculated. Minutes later, a small craft emerged from the water near the Mariana Trench. It had slipped through the shield's weakest point, a gap so tiny that even the best sensors had difficulty detecting it. Humanity's first real intruder had arrived. The military was alerted immediately. Elite teams were dispatched, moving with precision and coordination that reflected months of preparation. Helicopters and submarines converged on the location, scanning for any signs of the alien craft. Civilians were evacuated and emergency protocols were activated. Elena joined the command center, her eyes scanning live feeds from drones hovering above the ocean. "They found a way through," she said calmly, though her heart raced. "But we can handle this. We've prepared for years." The scout ship moved carefully, avoiding detection as it analyzed Earth's defenses. Inside, the aliens observed everything: the cities, the military bases, even small patterns of human behavior. They were studying humanity, learning how the humans thought and reacted. It was not a battle yet. It was a test, and they intended to learn as much as possible before a full invasion. Humanity, however, was not about to wait passively. Engineers had already designed adaptive defense systems, drones capable of independent decision-making. As the scout ship approached the coast, these drones moved into action. They did not attack recklessly. Instead, they surrounded the alien craft, creating a barrier that forced the ship to pause. From the command center, Elena watched closely. "They're clever," she said, "but we are cleverer." Using signals captured from the alien ship, humans began to understand its communication pattern. It was unlike anything Earth had encountered, a combination of light pulses, electromagnetic fields, and sound vibrations. Within hours, human scientists had created a response system, sending back signals designed to confuse the ship's sensors. The aliens were surprised. Their scouts had never encountered a species that could adapt so quickly, a species that could read and respond to technology in real time. The ship wavered above the trench, trying to understand what was happening. Meanwhile, the military took a cautious approach. Boarding teams prepared underwater drones to capture the alien ship, but they were careful. Humans wanted to study the ship and its occupants without destroying them. Knowledge was power, and this first encounter was as much about learning as it was about defense. On the surface, News of the intrusion reached citizens around the globe. Panic did not spread, but curiosity did. People watched screens showing live feeds of the ocean, where drones moved like shadows over the water. It was a reminder that even though Earth had shut its doors, the universe still watched, still tested, and still challenged humanity's limits. Elena coordinated with her team, working tirelessly to decode the alien signals. She felt the thrill of discovery, the same excitement she had felt as a child when she first learned to build circuits and program computers. Humanity had a gift for creativity, and now it was being tested in real time. The first contact was cautious but tense. A small group of aliens exited the scout ship, moving slowly through the water in protective suits. Humans observed them carefully, maintaining distance. The aliens made no aggressive move, instead scanning, measuring, and recording everything. Their curiosity mirrored humanity's own, a silent acknowledgement that knowledge was valuable above all else. After hours of careful study and communication attempts, the aliens made a surprising move. They activated a small device that emitted light pulses in a complex pattern. Elena and her team recognized it as a greeting, a way of signaling that they did not want to attack immediately. Humanity responded in kind, sending back a series of pulses using specially adapted drones. It was the first true communication between humans and the Galactic Empire in decades. It was cautious, careful, and respectful, yet it revealed a truth that both sides understood. Intelligence, ingenuity, and patience were as important as strength and firepower. As the night passed, humans realized that this first breach, though alarming, was an opportunity. Scientists studied the alien ship, learning its systems, its energy patterns, and even its methods of cloaking. Military strategists observed the aliens' tactics, noting that they relied on patience and observation rather than reckless aggression. Elena smiled as she watched the data stream in. Humanity was not just defending its home. It was learning, adapting, and evolving. The shield had kept them safe, but it was human ingenuity, courage, and unity that truly mattered. By morning, the aliens had withdrawn, returning their scout ship to the far reaches of space. The breach had been small, but the lesson was enormous. Humanity understood that the Galactic Empire would not simply give up, that every victory would be tested, every defense challenged. And yet, there was no fear, only determination. Humanity had survived countless challenges on Earth, and now facing an intelligent force from the stars, they would prove again that cleverness, collaboration, and courage could overcome even the most advanced enemies. Cities buzzed with renewed energy. Engineers continued to improve the shield, now adding adaptive systems based on what had been learned. Soldiers trained harder but also smarter, learning to anticipate threats rather than just react. Citizens contributed in small but meaningful ways, sharing knowledge, resources, and encouragement. Even children understood in their own way that Earth had become a planet of resilience. Schools introduced lessons about the first alien contact, focusing not on fear, but on problem-solving, teamwork, and the power of creativity. Humanity was learning not just to survive, but to thrive, even under pressure from the stars. And somewhere in the darkness beyond the orbit of Pluto, the Galactic Empire watched and waited. They had seen the humans' cleverness, their ability to adapt in real time. Some officers were frustrated, others curious, but all understood one thing. Earth was not a simple planet to conquer. Its people were unpredictable, united, and determined. Elena stood on the balcony of her laboratory, gazing at the ocean where the scout ship had appeared. The first breach had been dangerous, but it had also shown humanity's true strength. "We are ready," she whispered to herself. "Whatever comes next, we will meet it together." And for the first time in decades, humans understood that closing Earth's doors was only the beginning. The real test had begun. A clever enemy had entered their world, and humanity had responded not with panic, but with intelligence, courage, and unity. The stars beyond Earth seemed brighter now, full of possibilities and challenges. Humanity had survived the first breach, but there would be more. And with each challenge, humans would learn, adapt, and grow stronger. The lesson was clear. The shield could protect the body, but it was the mind, the spirit, and the heart of humanity that would truly defend Earth. The first contact had ended, but the story of Earth's courage, cleverness, and unbreakable spirit had only just begun. The first breach had passed, but Earth's people knew it was only the beginning. The Galactic Empire had tested their shield and learned something about humanity. Now it was time for humans to prepare in ways the aliens could not predict. In the labs and command centers across the planet, scientists and strategists worked tirelessly. Dr. Elena Reyes led one of the most ambitious projects of human history, creating systems that could defend Earth not just with shields and weapons, but with intelligence, creativity, and adaptability. Every department focused on one goal: to turn every challenge into an advantage. From above the cities, drones patrolled silently, blending with the environment. Unlike before, these were not simple observation devices. They were autonomous, capable of learning and making decisions in real time. Engineers had programmed them to mimic human creativity, to improvise solutions, and even to set traps based on the movement patterns of any intruder. In military academies, soldiers trained not just to fight but to think. Simulations included every possible scenario, from minor scouting missions to full-scale invasions. Pilots practiced maneuvers in 3 dimensions, coordinating with drones and AI systems to create a web of defense so intricate that even the most advanced alien technology would struggle to navigate it. Elena stood in the central command center, reviewing the progress on a holographic map of the planet. Tiny lights flickered across oceans, mountains, and cities, drones, energy shields, monitoring stations. "We are ready," she said to her team. "They've tested us once. Now we test ourselves, and we will not be predictable." The Galactic Empire, far beyond the edges of the solar system, was preparing its response. Scouts reported on Earth's improvements. "They are clever," one officer said. "Their technology grows faster than expected. But we are patient. We will wait for the right moment." Meanwhile, humans continued to innovate. Scientists discovered ways to use the planet's own energy fields to power defensive systems. Renewable energy grids were integrated with drones and sensors, allowing them to operate without interruption. Cities became living fortresses with networks of invisible barriers and alert systems that could react instantly to any threat. Even civilians contributed. Engineers in small towns created auxiliary drones and repair units. Schools hosted competitions to design new defensive technologies, giving students a chance to contribute to humanity's safety. Farmers developed energy-harvesting crops that powered local devices. Every person had a role, and every effort made Earth stronger. The first real test came unexpectedly. A fleet of alien scout ships larger than the first approached Earth's orbit. Cloaked in advanced technology, they remained mostly invisible to conventional sensors. But humanity had learned. Adaptive drones detected tiny disturbances in energy fields and alerted command. Within minutes, the planet was ready. Elena coordinated the response. "We don't just react," she told her team. "We anticipate, predict, outthink them." Satellites relayed signals, drones adjusted formations, and cities activated hidden defense systems. It was not just a battle of technology, it was a battle of minds. As the alien ships entered Earth's orbit, humans implemented their first strategy: decoy cities. Holographic projections and automated systems created the illusion of populated areas where none existed. The aliens, believing they had found key targets, approached cautiously, only to encounter unexpected electromagnetic traps and energy pulses. Ships stalled, sensors scrambled, and the aliens realized that humanity was no longer simple to predict. On the ground, special units moved quickly. Engineers and soldiers deployed rapid response drones to areas where breaches might occur. These drones did not attack immediately, but monitored, mapped, and adapted. They used clever maneuvers to block potential landing zones, forcing the aliens to rethink their approach. For the first time, humans had taken the initiative. They were no longer merely defending, they were controlling the battlefield. And it was working. The alien fleet struggled to adapt, their arrogance challenged by the ingenuity of a single species. Elena smiled as she watched the holographic displays. "They expect force," she said. "We give them strategy. They expect reaction. We give them foresight." The alien commander, observing from a ship cloaked in darkness, frowned. Humans were unpredictable, their coordination impressive, their use of technology elegant. "They are different," he muttered. "We cannot simply overwhelm them. We must learn more." Hours turned into days. Humans studied the alien fleet, recording every movement, every tactic, every signal. Adaptive AI systems analyzed the data, creating models of alien behavior, and humans continued to improve, adjusting strategies in real time. Then came a bold move. A small alien ship attempted to slip past the defenses near the South American coast. It moved quickly, hoping to gather information before humans could react. But the adaptive drones detected the approach instantly. Using energy fields and coordinated maneuvers, they guided the ship into a controlled area where humans could observe it safely. Scientists and engineers worked together to study the ship. They discovered that its cloaking technology relied on subtle energy fluctuations, patterns that could be disrupted by Earth's adaptive systems. In a brilliant display of human creativity, they devised a countermeasure, a network of drones emitting controlled pulses to interfere with cloaking, revealing any ship attempting to infiltrate the planet. The aliens tried again, launching a second wave of scouts. But humans had learned from the first encounter. Cities activated hidden defenses, drones blocked potential landing zones, and AI systems predicted the fleet's movements. The aliens realized that brute force would not succeed. Every attempt was met with a clever response, a strategy that turned their advantage into weakness. For the first time, humans had the upper hand. Not through weapons, not through aggression, but through intelligence, unity, and adaptability. It was a victory not of firepower, but of mind and spirit. Civilians watched from the safety of their homes, following news broadcasts that celebrated human ingenuity. Stories emerged of ordinary people contributing to the defense effort, engineers who improved drone systems, programmers who decoded alien signals, and pilots who coordinated maneuvers with extraordinary precision. Humanity was not just defending its home, it was demonstrating the power of cooperation and creativity. Elena observed the final phase of the counterstrike. Using a combination of drones, energy fields, and predictive modeling, humans guided the alien fleet away from populated areas. The aliens, realizing they were being outmaneuvered, retreated. The skies of Earth cleared, but the message was clear. Humans had grown stronger, smarter, and more prepared than ever before. Even as the threat subsided, humanity did not relax. Engineers continued to improve systems, soldiers trained in new strategies, and scientists studied alien technology for insights that could further strengthen Earth. The first real invasion attempt had been repelled, but humans knew it was only the beginning. The Galactic Empire, observing from afar, began to reassess its approach. The humans were clever, coordinated, and adaptive. They learned quickly, improvised constantly, and demonstrated courage that was rare among species. The Empire realized that Earth was no longer a simple planet to conquer. It was a fortress of mind, heart, and spirit, a place where even the most advanced technology could be challenged. Elena walked through the streets of her city, observing children playing safely, drones patrolling silently, and citizens contributing to Earth's ongoing defense. She felt pride, not just in the technology but in the people themselves. Humanity had proven that intelligence, unity, and creativity were as powerful as any weapon. The counterstrike had succeeded, but the lessons were clear. The Galactic Empire would not stop. They would return, stronger and more determined. And humanity would need to continue growing, learning, and innovating. The challenge was immense, but humans had proven they were capable of anything when united. At night, as stars glittered above the shielded planet, Elena gazed at the sky. "They will come again," she whispered. "But we are ready. We will meet them with courage, strategy, and ingenuity. They may have power, but we have spirit." Earth had survived its first real test, and humanity had emerged stronger than before. The shield had protected the body, but it was the mind, the unity, and the spirit of humans that had truly won the day. And the story of Earth's courage, cleverness, and unbreakable spirit continued to unfold, preparing the planet for the greater challenges yet to come. The Galactic Empire had been warned. Humans were no ordinary species. They adapted, they strategized, and they would not be broken. The counterstrike was more than defense, it was a statement. Earth would not just survive, it would thrive. And in the shadows of space, the aliens watched, realizing that the battle for Earth would not be won by power alone, but by the indomitable spirit of humanity. Earth's people had grown stronger. The first breaches had taught them valuable lessons. Aliens were clever, persistent, and patient, but humans were cleverer, faster, and more united than ever. Yet nothing could have prepared them for what was coming. The Galactic Empire, frustrated by repeated failures to breach the shield, decided to send a fleet larger than any seen before. Thousands of ships approached the solar system, moving in formations that spread across the void like a dark storm. From orbit, their shadows blocked sunlight, and the planet's moons reflected their massive shapes. Earth's command centers immediately detected the fleet. Panic did not spread, but vigilance intensified. Dr. Elena Reyes watched the holographic displays, her team buzzing with activity around her. "They've brought everything they have," she said. "This is no longer a test. It's a challenge. But we are ready." Soldiers moved into position not just in the sky but across the surface. Cities became fortresses. Roads could be transformed into energy barriers. Parks and fields hid automated defense systems. Energy grids powered drones, barriers, and satellites simultaneously. Every inch of Earth became part of a living, breathing defense network. The humans' greatest advantage was their creativity. The Galactic Empire expected them to defend predictably, with weapons and shields. Instead, humans used strategy, unpredictability, and clever misdirection. Holographic projections created decoy cities that the aliens believed were population centers. Energy pulses disguised as meteor showers blocked sensors, confusing the fleet's navigation. Submarine drones created patterns in oceans to mimic hidden installations. Every move was designed to force the enemy into mistakes. The first wave of alien ships attempted a direct assault on the Pacific coast. Drones swarmed, creating invisible energy nets that redirected the ships. Attempts to land were met with electromagnetic pulses that temporarily disabled propulsion systems. The aliens realized their standard tactics were useless. Humanity was not fighting blindly. They were anticipating every move. On land, pilots maneuvered aerial drones in intricate formations, creating barriers and diversions. Soldiers in command centers coordinated strikes not to destroy the enemy, but to contain and guide them into controlled zones. It was a battle of intelligence, precision, and creativity. Elena's team discovered another advantage. The alien ships relied on centralized communication networks. Humans used adaptive interference to disrupt their signals, forcing the fleet to rely on slower, less coordinated movements. Each alien ship that attempted a maneuver was met with a counter that used the planet's natural energy fields to block, guide, or delay them. Across the globe, civilians contributed. Engineers improvised devices to enhance energy grids, programmers adjusted AI drones in real time, and volunteers coordinated communication hubs. Even children participated in simulations and educational exercises, understanding that Earth's defense was a team effort. Hours passed with relentless tension. The alien fleet tried different strategies, testing energy pulses, cloaking, and direct landings. Every attempt was clever, but humans were cleverer. The drones adapted instantly. The AI recalculated trajectories, and humans deployed solutions in ways the aliens had never imagined. Then came a bold move. A squadron of alien ships attempted to bypass Earth's defenses near the equator, targeting a densely populated region. Humans reacted quickly. Automated barriers rose from hidden grids beneath the city. Energy nets formed, and drones created diversions from multiple angles. The aliens, expecting resistance at only one point, were now trapped in a maze of unpredictable obstacles. In orbit, satellites emitted carefully timed pulses that interfered with the alien ships' sensors. One by one, ships were guided into zones where humans could observe and analyze them without harm. Humanity's goal was not destruction, it was learning, adaptation, and survival. Every captured or delayed ship revealed patterns, weaknesses, and insights into the Empire's technology. Even the Galactic Empire's commanders began to respect their opponents. "These humans are unpredictable," one officer said. "They do not react, they anticipate. They do not retreat, they adapt. We cannot overwhelm them with strength alone." On the ground, Elena coordinated efforts across continents. Using a combination of AI, human intuition, and adaptive strategies, humans began to turn the tide. Alien ships that had once seemed unstoppable were now contained, diverted, or neutralized by clever tactics. The sky above Earth became a theater of strategy rather than destruction, a place where intelligence and unity triumphed over sheer power. Despite the chaos, humanity did not panic. Schools, hospitals, and cities continued functioning. Thanks to careful planning and decentralized systems, citizens understood that everyone had a role to play, and every contribution counted. The Galactic Empire may have brought a storm, but humans had built a shield not just of energy, but of knowledge, courage, and teamwork. As the day wore on, the aliens realized that their attempts at direct confrontation were failing. Every move was met with a counter. Every plan anticipated, every advantage neutralized. They had underestimated humanity's creativity, resilience, and capacity for cooperation. Elena looked at the holographic display, showing the fleet's retreat in slow motion. "They will not give up," she said, "but neither will we. Every challenge makes us stronger, smarter, and more prepared." Indeed, humans were learning faster than the Empire expected. Engineers improved drone coordination, programmers enhanced AI predictive systems, and strategists developed simulations to anticipate alien tactics. Every encounter was a lesson, every maneuver an opportunity to grow stronger. Even the youngest citizens felt the pride of survival. Schools incorporated lessons on strategy, problem-solving, and collaboration. Children designed miniature drones, experimented with energy fields, and contributed ideas that were sometimes adopted in real-world defense systems. Humanity's strength was not in a few leaders or soldiers. It was in every person united and determined. As night fell, the skies cleared, and the alien fleet retreated to the darkness of space. Earth remained intact, its people safe and stronger than ever. But the victory was not a reason for complacency. The Galactic Empire would return, larger and more determined, and humanity would have to continue adapting and improving. Elena walked through the city streets, observing the quiet hum of drones, the lights of energy grids, and citizens returning to their routines. She felt pride not just in the technology, but in the people themselves. Humans had survived the largest assault in history, not through brute force but through intelligence, cooperation, and courage. In the command center, she addressed her team. "They will come again," she said, "and when they do, we will be ready. Not because we have weapons, but because we have unity, creativity, and determination. We will face them with intelligence, not fear." Even in the Galactic Empire, some officers could not help but admire their opponents. "They fight with their minds, not just with machines," one said. "We may conquer stars, but we cannot break their spirit. That spirit, unyielding and inventive, would define humanity's future." Earth had faced its greatest challenge yet, and humans had emerged victorious. Not because they were stronger in firepower, but because they were smarter, faster, and more united than any enemy could predict. The siege had ended, but the story was far from over. Humanity had proven its courage, ingenuity, and unbreakable spirit. Every citizen, soldier, engineer, and child had played a part in defending the planet. And the message to the galaxy was clear. Earth was not just a planet. It was a symbol of human resilience, creativity, and determination. From the stars, the Galactic Empire watched and reconsidered. Humans were clever, resourceful, and united. They could adapt to any threat and turn disadvantage into advantage. The Empire realized that conquering Earth would not be easy. It would require more than ships and weapons. It would require understanding, patience, and perhaps even respect for a species that refused to be broken. Elena stood at the observation deck of her command center, gazing at the horizon. The sky was calm, but the stars seemed brighter than before. Humanity had survived a storm larger than any in history, and the people were stronger for it. The siege had tested every skill, every strategy, and every human mind and humanity had prevailed. The lesson was clear. The shield could protect the planet, but it was human spirit, unity, and intelligence that would protect its future, and humanity was ready for whatever came next. The siege had ended, but the war for Earth's freedom had only begun.